right. So each of these each of these apps measure your steps, and ask yourself a question. Why is it that somebody who does 5,000 steps a day does not get the same amount of therapeutic value as another individual who also does 5,000 steps? Now, let me give you a little bit of insight to this whole subject. This entire concept of measuring your steps is not a very good concept, because steps of every individual may differ, and that is not the only criteria required to get therapeutic benefit. Let me give you an example. Suppose somebody's step is, say, 50 centimeters, and let's say somebody's step is 70 centimeters. When that person does 5,000 steps, they cover 40% lesser distance than the guy who's doing 5,000 steps, at each step being 70 centimeters. So measuring your daily exercise habit only by steps is not a good idea, right? So we need to measure your activity by the distance that you travel. Now, is distance the only criteria? No, even that's not correct, because somebody who walks, say, 5 kilometers every day has less therapeutic value of that 5 kilometers walk as compared to another person who walks 5,000 kilometers a day, five kilometers a day. So why is that? Why is this big difference between the two people covering the same distance? So the key factor over here is how much distance you're covering in how much time is a very, very important factor to determine the therapeutic value that you will get for that exercise. So every person is different, and every person has a particular sweet spot when they do a particular amount of exercise. I mean, let's say if you're just, restricting just now to just brisk walking, the amount of distance covered in a particular time gives you the right amount of therapeutic value for your health. So, I would like to challenge every one of you to find out what is that sweet spot, and probably share it with us on the group so that we get a consolidated, figure from people with, different age brackets, different gender, different coming from different regions, because it also makes a lot of difference whether you're doing the same steps in a pristine environment or in an AQI index of, say, 400 or 500. So these are some, little tips that can really help you, put your health regime in the right direction. So understand this properly, that it is not the steps that are important. It is the amount of distance you're covering over what amount of time really gives you the right amount of therapeutic value. Today, you're very lucky because you're going to be hearing about carbs and GI and GL and fiber from somebody, okay, who took sort of, once she started, coming onto this community and taking and, making a strong decision that she really wanted to change her health around, which she definitely believed that she could not. So this was a major help that she got from the community, because trust me, it is never too late. Okay, I always tell people that it's never too late, but the later you do it, the more difficult it gets. All right. I often tell people that exercise when you can, because it will be very difficult to do it when you can't. And that is the time you will need that exercise, to back you and to, back your health. So listen to Veda very carefully, because what she has to share, she has a lot of experience on this subject, and she can tell you, what is the difference between 20-year-olds doing exercise and 30 years old doing exercise and 40-year old doing exercise, 50 years and 60 years. So listen to her very carefully, because what she has to share will have a significant impact, not only on your health, but the health of your friends and family around you. So over to you, Veda.
Thank you so much, Farooq, and thank you for all your guidance throughout the last many years and through that whole transformational journey. Well, before I start the session, I do want to share, that what Farooq said. Start it. Start it, because it doesn't matter what age you are when you start. When Farooq and Raj came into my life, I was probably, I think, 43, 44, and almost about 82 kgs heavy. I had given up, in the sense I literally thought that yaar मैं IT में हूँ. My job is, sitting at the desk the whole time. And I had put on a lot of weight, and post two deliveries. Never thought, and I was never an athletic person. Exercise was zero. Food, kuch bhi khana, because time nahi tha. So we were ordering, khana. Even though we had a cook at home, we used to order most often than not. And it is through those small changes that this program, this community taught us, through these sessions, through the knowledge sharing sessions, through the encouragement, through the reporting, that I was able to transform my health and lose almost about 22 kgs in a span of 18 months. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is, yesterday I met a lady in the lift. And she asked me whether you've lost weight. I said, no, I'm just maintaining it. And she couldn't believe, because obviously अलग कपड़े पहनते तो अलग, थोड़ा सा तो अलग दिखते ही है. And I said, literally, for the last 4.5 years, I have been able to maintain the weight loss that I had. That's the toughest part. Anyone who has done a weight loss program anywhere will, vouch for it, that yes, it may be easy to lose weight, because people lose weight. Many people lose 10 kgs, 15 kgs in 1 month and all. Here, we don't encourage you to do that. An average of 2.5, max 3 kgs per month, because that's the right way to do it. We help you focus on 4, 5 aspects, not just diet, not just exercise, not just NEAT. And these knowledge sharing sessions are definitely an integral part of it. So do join us every Monday. The reason I'm emphasizing on this is because I couldn't have presented this if I didn't experience it, right? And these small things that you will learn through these sessions, through the experience of this program, will help you not just lose weight, not just gain health, but to maintain and sustain it. Trust me, today where I am, I have aches all over. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, where I would be lying on the bed and probably in the hospital. I think I'm able to sustain and still thrive on, not just sustain, because of that weight loss, because of the nutrition that is there in my body. Okay, so let's get on with the session. Carbs and fibers. Now, first of all, to the basics. What are carbs? Carbohydrates are organic compounds made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, the basic elements. Your primary source of energy for your body, especially for your brains and muscles. And also, they are essential nutrients which have what? Sugar, fibers, and starch. This is your basic, right? A refresher, I would say. So, primary role, as we saw, was in giving energy, correct? So what happens जब हम खाना खाते हैं, correct? Food digest होता है. During the digestion, carbs are broken down. It's easier to break carbs, so that is broken down into simple sugars. ये अपने blood stream में चला जाता है as glucose, right? Glucose goes to the cells, जो हमारा, those are the smallest things in our body. So your body cells, when they absorb it, through with the help of insulin, it gets converted into cell energy. And that's how your cell gets energy. That's how your cell thrives. That's how it is. That's how you live, of course. And if your cells do not consume it as fuel, or it doesn't get into your cells, it is then stored as fat. Okay, that's your basic role of carbs, giving fuel for your body. Fuel, energy will also be given by protein and fats as well. तो इस ग्राफ में एक डिपिक्शन दिया है कि जब आप कार्ब्स खाते हैं तो फट से आपकी एनर्जी हाई हो जाती है. सो इट गिव्स यू इंस्टेंट एनर्जी. और लॉट ऑफ यू वुड हैव सीन कि अगर चक्कर आ रहा है, बहुत वीक फील हो रहा है, तो क्या देते हैं? ग्लूकोज देता है. क्यों? ग्लूकोज एनर्जी देती है, राइट? सो इट गिव्स यू इंस्टेंट एनर्जी. बट ये ग्राफ से ये जो ग्रीन लाइन है वो आप देखिए, immediately it can even get your energy down. So whenever you eat heavy carbs का food, just notice अगले 2-3 दिन आप carbs खाइए और देखो कुछ इतना भी बुरा नहीं होगा, but then आप notice कर दीजिए कि you will feel hungry again. Why? Because your energy will go down faster. लेकिन अगर आप प्रोटीन खाते हो, okay, and fats, of course, to not that don't take this and then start eating fats, but then protein and fats instant energy नहीं देती है, but also at the same time it sustains for a longer time. तो आप प्रोटीन अगर खाओगे, right, you will not feel hungry faster. So you will see that. And of course, the quantity, all of that matters, right? So this is how your energy is. Now, दो तरह के carbs रहते हैं, एक simple carbs and the other is complex carbs. Simple carbs is your something like your sugars, all different types of sugar. सफेद बोलो, brown बोलो, honey बोलो, palm sugar बोलो, whatever. All of that is simple carbs. So sugar in any form is simple carbs. कॉम्प्लेक्स में आपका स्टार्च आता है, अलग अलग रूट वेजिटेबल्स, right, your grains, etc. And then you have, sorry, fibers are your root vegetables. Mostly the grains, etc. Is starches. But when you leave the husk on, when you leave the covering on, that's when it remains complex, right? It gives you the fibers. Benefits, जैसे आप हमने बोला, lot of people ask, तो आपने क्या carbs give up किया है? नहीं. We do not say give up carbs on this, but we look at portion in this program, but we look at portion management, right? Now, carbs definitely, complex carbs help you with better metabolic health. इसका मतलब क्या है? Complex carbs, what happens versus simple carbs? सिंपल कार्ब्स आर इजी टू डाइजेस्ट. वो फटाफट डाइजेस्ट हो जाएगा, एनर्जी मिल जाएगा, खत्म भी हो जाएगा, ऑलमोस्ट वेस्ट ही हो जाएगा, राइट? बट इफ यू हैव कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्ब्स, इट टेक्स अ लिटिल लॉन्गर फॉर इट टू डाइजेस्ट एंड हेंस योर मेटाबॉलिज्म improves. It kickstarts your metabolism in the morning also. Maintains your blood sugars अगर आप complex carbs खाते हो versus your simple carbs, so that there is a slow spike, not a immediate spike. Helps you with weight management and heart health. Okay, now let's get down to what is the difference between complex and simple carbs. जिनको chemistry में interest है, complex is made of long chains of sugar molecules, whereas simple is short chains of sugar molecules. Short है इसीलिए digest भी जल्दी होती है, इसीलिए बिकॉज डाइजेस्ट भी जल्दी होती है, तो सिंपल शुगर कार्ब्स क्या होता है, फटक से अपना ब्लड शुगर भी इंक्रीज हो जाता है. बट क्योंकि वो फटक से इंक्रीज होता है और इट रिड्यूसेस ऑल्सो फास्ट, सो यू गेट अ क्रैशिंग फीलिंग कि आपको चक्कर आ रहा है, ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो इट्स ऑल प्रोसेस्ड फूड, राइट? लेट्स स्टॉप देयर. नाउ यू कंपेयर विद कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्ब्स. इट टेक्स स्लोअर टाइम टू डाइजेस्ट क्योंकि वो धीरे धीरे डाइजेस्ट होती है कंपेरेटिवली टू सिंपल कार्ब्स. It increases your blood sugar slower than your simple carbs, right? And you feel slightly fuller for longer. So, for example, oats also, right? Or ragi. All of those are complex carbs, and they have a little bit of protein as well, right? Now they're less processed. Now let's come to the fiber part. Complex में fiber रहता है, whereas in the simple carbs you don't have fiber. Uh, Complex carbs boosts your performance, simple lowers, higher in antioxidants and vitamins, whereas इसमें क्योंकि सब आपका जो what do you say, the essential nutrients are all removed. Sugar doesn't have any nutrition in it, right? It has only carbs. Whereas carrots, whole grain bread, bananas, oats, brown rice, if you look at complex carbs, they have at least other nutrients also, and they have fiber as well. Okay. अभी यूजुअली, और ये मेरा भी केस था, इनफैक्ट मेनी ऑफ अस इंडियंस व्हेन वी ईट आवर फूड का ब्रेकफास्ट ऑप्शंस भी देखो, पोहा, उपमा, इडली, डोसा, रोटी, पराठा, all of these are carbs. Very, very rarely do we have those options where you have protein dominated breakfast. Come to lunch. What is your traditional lunch? What is our traditional lunch? Roti, chawal, dal, sabzi, salad, probably. I'm being very optimistic. And then let's have a full plate, right? Pickles, chutney, namak, nimbu, right? But because रोटी भी खाते हैं, चावल भी खाते हैं, तो क्या हो जाता है? और साउथ इंडियन जस्ट हैविंग राइस. आई नो माय डैड वाज फ्रॉम आंध्रा. वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ होल फुल प्लेट ऑफ rice, right? So your rice, which or the carbs portion, which should ideally be 1/4 of your, portion size, usually at least half तो हो ही जाता है, and most of the cases more than that. तो आप बोलोगे कि ये तो पहले से ही चलता जा रहा था, that is what we have been following. Yes, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली उस जमाने में एक्टिविटी हमारे से 100 गुना ज्यादा था. राइट नाउ आवर एक्टिविटी हैज reduced drastically to just 25 minutes on an average per day. एक्टिविटी में एक्सरसाइज नहीं बोल रही हूँ, मूवमेंट, डूइंग नॉर्मल स्टफ. But our carbs portion has almost remained the same, or at times even increased, क्योंकि हम processed food ज्यादा खाने लग गए हैं. हम processed food, like for example burgers, pizzas, cakes, sweets, donuts, all of that has increased. Ordering food from outside. Now, even when you order food from outside or baked food, that is a fad. Everyone loves to do baking. I'm not going against that. But unfortunately, उसमें ज़्यादा मैदा और बहुत सारा fats रहता है, right? So your अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज का आपका सिनेरियो है कार्ब्स डोमिनेटेड. अगर नहीं है, ग्रेट, कंटिन्यू इट. Do have a little bit of carbs. We are not saying don't have carbs at all, but your portion should be much lesser. In fact, रात का जो आपका डिनर है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू फिनिश ऑफ फास्ट, लेकिन रात का डिनर के प्लेट में कार्ब्स और भी कम होने चाहिए. इस प्रोग्राम के थ्रू आई यूज्ड टू हैव रोटी, सब्जी, ऑफ कोर्स. राइस मेरा रात को होता नहीं था, thankfully, but I could never imagine a state when I could eat only sabzi and salad, yeah, only chicken, yeah, only eggs and all, but I can do it, and it is possible to do, right? And that's how I have learned, because when you know what you're eating, when you can feel what you're eating, and when you feel your body, measure, monitor, what you're eating, how you're feeling, you will start understanding how your body reacts. कमिंग टू ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स एंड ग्लाइसेमिक लोड, बहुत ही जरूरी है आपको समझना इन टर्म्स ऑफ कार्ब्स. ओके, टू वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म्स. ओके, एंड सिंपल टू अंडरस्टैंड एज वेल. You will see बहुत सारे चीजों में now you will see it advertised also that इसका glycemic index low है. बहुत कम जगह आपको दिखेगा कि glycemic load कम है. But I'll tell you what. Now अगर आप पूरे एक वाटरमेलन को देखो, ओके, उसका ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स बहुत हाई है, विच इज 80, विच मीन्स उसका शुगर लेवल बहुत हाई है. मतलब शुगर शायद कम रहेगा, बट देन इट विल गिव यू अ हाई शुगर रश. ओके, बट अगर आप पोर्शन कम रखो, वन सर्विंग ऑफ say just one piece of this thing watermelon, even a diabetic person can have it. क्यों? क्योंकि उसका ग्लाइसेमिक लोड कम है. Okay, so many, I used to always think, I remember my mother-in-law was diabetic and I never gave her watermelon because मीठा taste करता है तो no, it is not good, correct? But this was an eye opener that there could be food items जहाँ पे उनका glycemic load कम है, तो अगर आप portion restrict करोगे तो आप वो खा सकते हो. Okay? Now what is the difference? Glycemic index क्या बोलता है कि जब आप carbs खाते हो, how fast does your blood sugar levels rise compared to other reference food? Okay, how fast it rises. That's your glycemic index. Glycemic load क्या होता है? दोनों quantity and quality. Okay, जब दोनों साथ में आप लेते हो, it will give you a better indication कि ये फूड अच्छा है या not so good है, right? So how do you understand low glycemic index? अभी गूगल में आप ढूंढोगे कोई भी फूड आइटम का, it will give you what is the glycemic index for that, cooked में क्या है, uncooked में क्या है, all of that it will give you. But then ideal would be eat items that are low in glycemic index and low in GL. Okay, we have some, okay, before we go into the options. So when you have this kind of a fountain, right, which means your glycemic index is low. धीरे से वो, the fountain is just showing up. But when you have a pipe burst, for example, there's a rapid release, and that's the example of a high glycemic index. Or if you have like and then one more example that I had, I don't know where it has gone, but traffic lights. When is your glycemic? So when your traffic lights are working, the traffic is moving. Forget Pune. Pune में तो traffic lights working में भी काम नहीं होती है ठीक से. But say Mumbai, Delhi में, when the traffic lights are working, when the traffic is following as per the discipline, that's your glycemic load. So your traffic lights are managing the traffic. That is your glycemic load. When the traffic lights are switched off and people just do what they want, that means you have a glycemic load is high. There's the insulin that is being passed. There is no rhythm or system, or it is not regulated. Okay, that's where your glycemic index and glycemic load is. एग्जाम्पल्स हियर, व्हाइट राइस क्यों आजकल बोला जाता है कि मत खाओ इतना, बिकॉज उसका ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स बहुत हाई है, विच इज 73. इवन ब्राउन राइस इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट, इट इज 68. लुक एट दीज, योर होल व्हीट ब्रेड, व्हाइट ब्रेड, not too much of a difference. Yes, your whole wheat bread is slightly lower than white bread, but if you see, there's not too much of a difference in that. फिर भी आपका गेहूं और ब्रेड इज लेसर इन ग्लाइसेमिक लोड देन राइस. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि राइस मत खाओ, बट दिस इज अ वेरी गुड इंडिकेशन आप कि आपको रात को डिनर पे राइस नहीं खानी चाहिए बिकॉज द ग्लाइसेमिक लोड इज हायर. Preferably have it at lunchtime. So what I do, and through this whole journey, I will keep sharing the learnings that I've got and what we practice at home. Lunch पे राइस खाते हैं, रात को डिनर पे रोटी, या usually it is just one roti that my daughter has. I don't prefer to have roti also, but that's usually what we follow. या फिर ब्रेकफास्ट में आप रोटी, आप ठेपला खाओ. बट many people say कि राइस खाने के बाद नींद आती है. वो क्योंकि आपका पोर्शन बहुत ज्यादा होता है. इफ यू कैन कंट्रोल द पोर्शन टू 1/4, इफ यू कैन स्टार्ट द food with your lunch with salads, you will not feel sleepy. Okay, you have to balance it out with protein as well. Okay, I wanted to show you, yes, so the watermelon example, your glycemic index is at high at 72, whereas load is 4. Let's go down to these other. Look at chickpeas. चिकपीस में क्या है, ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स भी लो है. That's because it has a very high protein content, 28, and your load is also at a 9, right? Lentils also are great. So these are the things, okay? But I can give you something. Okay, let's go and see what is quinoa. Quinoa is supposed to be very good. Pardon my pronunciation. But 53 is glycemic index and 13 is glycemic load. We have something for you, which is your BFAT low GI white rice, which I use, which my whole family has. In fact, many of my friends are loving this rice. My pet dog also has this. It is got a very low glycemic index as at 52. It's white rice. You will not know the difference. बहुत लोग मुझे पूछते हैं उसका स्मेल अलग है क्या, उसका टेस्ट बहुत मेडिसिनल है क्या? No, you will not know the difference. But look at this, 52, whereas if you see white rice here, 73. So definitely look at the person who has invited you and ask how you can catch hold of detach low GI rice so that you do not need to give up rice. But yes, even if it is low GI rice, please keep your portion control at 1/4. Okay. Okay. So you need carbs in the morning as well. Again, as compared to protein, you again need it at a smaller portion. But to kickstart your, so मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि आप पोहा मत खाओ या आप उपमा मत खाओ या इडली डोसा वो सब मत खाओ, लेकिन आपका पोर्शन थोड़ा कम करो as compared to whatever protein that you're having, because even your carbs are required to reduce your sleepiness. जब आप सुबह उठते हो आपको वो एनर्जी एक किक चाहिए ना शुरुआत करने के लिए सुबह. So it helps to set your body clock in the morning. It reduces your sleepiness, your stress hormones, reduces your stresses through workload. Okay, improves your insulin response, improved fat oxidation, and also helps you in alertness, responsiveness, and memory. So carbs are required in general. अभी आपने देखा कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्ब्स में you have your fibers as well, right? And fiber is a very lesser known और probably focus area जो हम बोलते हैं. बहुत लोग प्रोटीन पे फोकस करते हैं, बहुत लोग vitamins and minerals में फोकस करते हैं, reduced carbs, reduced whatever fats, but very rarely do people focus on increasing your fiber content and focusing on having fiber with every meal. Okay, so why? Fiber is absolutely essential for many, many reasons. Men may, I'm going to go only with the sedentary because I would say most of us are leading a sedentary lifestyle. At least men need 30 grams per day, women need 25 grams per day. ओके. फाइबर दो तरीके के होता है, एक पानी में जो घुल जाता है, दूसरा जो पानी में घुलता नहीं है. जो वाटर सॉल्युबल जो फाइबर है, इट हेल्प्स यू फील फुल फॉर लॉन्गर, reduces your cholesterol. सिर्फ वो डाइजेशन में it doesn't just play a part in digestion, but this was again eye opener for me कि वो कोलेस्ट्रॉल मैनेज करने के लिए भी फाइबर इज इम्पोर्टेंट. इट हेल्प्स योर गट हेल्थ का सेशन अगर आपने अटेंड नहीं किया उसका रिकॉर्डिंग देख लीजिएगा. But it helps to get a balance of your good bacteria and not so good bacteria. It helps improve your blood sugar. जब आपने सुबह सुबह अगर फाइबर लिया, आपका वो जो ब्लड स्पाइक्स है, वो शुगर स्पाइक्स है, sorry, not blood spike but the sugar spike, that will reduce. Okay, so found in apples, beans, all your fruits mainly, of course with the skins, nuts, oatmeal, sweet potatoes. It helps in giving bulk. So your insoluble fiber क्या करता है, आपका जो फूड है उस पे वो बल्क, और द प्रोसेस्ड फूड जब वो स्टूल्स में क्रिएट करता हो जाता है इन योर इंटेस्टाइन्स, it creates bulk so that you can pass your stools comfortably. Okay, it helps in your intestinal health from your insoluble fiber. तो दोनों soluble and insoluble दोनों ही की जरूरत है. हमारे पास जो न्यूट्रलाइट का फाइबर है, it is made of 3 different unique fibers have been brought together from Mother Earth, from nature. Okay, resistant maltodextrin, inulin, and partially hydrolyzed guar gum. अभी ये तीनों ही चीज वही जो हमने ये लिस्ट डाउन किया था, they will help you with all of those aspects. Okay, so बट ये हम नहीं बोल रहे कि सिर्फ ये लो और उसके बदले में आप सलाद भूल सकते हो, नहीं. बट दिस विल हेल्प यू इन योर digestion, in managing your blood glucose, In fact, people with sugar problems, where your insulin regulation is haywire, you can start your day with fiber. Fiber and protein, a mix of that will definitely help you go a long way in getting your insulin, regulated. It also helps you ensure कि आपका जो intestine layers है, gut barrier function, if you see here, right? It helps you strengthen that gut barrier function. वो gut barrier function क्या होता है? It plays a very important role. It helps कि जो food से जो nutrients है, it helps that only the nutrients should go into the blood. Toxic should not go into the blood. So it's a very important function that when you're doing your gut reset, okay, 10 दिन का gut reset cycle हम recommend करते हैं जब आप gut cleanse कर सकते हो. That time we recommend that 30 minutes before your breakfast and 30 minutes before your uh, dinner, you have one scoop in a glass of water. Uh, it just gets mixed. You can't even taste it. You can't even see it. पूरा वो पानी में घुल जाता है. You just have that. In fact, any time, suppose we go out and I feel bloated, I just have this. And this is coming to you from a person who has had horrible, horrible digestion problems. Fiber has been one of the key supplements, okay, the NutriLIV fiber that has helped me, come out of chronic constipation. I've had piles and fistula. I had undergone a surgery in 2021. After that, I had the weight loss. But even after weight loss, even though I used to be walking more, it had reduced, but I just couldn't, pass motions on a daily basis. But since the last 18 months to 20, I think 18 months, I would say, thank God. And this is me in my 40s who is saying this. Movies में देखते हैं, old people are, and we know in our families, old people face problem. But I know many, many, many colleagues, many friends who come back nowadays in their 30s and 40s who are facing digestive issues. And this fiber can help you. Trust me. Okay, it helps. I just spoke of it. Gut microbiota में help करता है, increases the nutrient absorption. Fiber acts as a prebiotic. Prebiotic क्या है? वो जो good bacteria है, उसके लिए वो खाना है. Okay, so that's how it flourishes. Fiber lowers your cholesterol, and also dietary fiber passes through the system and cleanse it from toxins. Okay, in your body clock, as per studies, it helps you decide when your next food intake है. अगर आपने सुबह फाइबर लिया, trust me, आपको 11 11:30 बजे, of course, do have it. What my routine, again, as I said, I will share my experience. What I do every day, what my mother does. My mother is 78. My daughter, who's 17, so it's all different age groups also. In the morning, we have 2 scoops of NutriLite all plant protein and 2 scoops of fiber in about 300 ml of water mixed. My mom just has it just like that. I have two spoons of curd mixed in it. My daughter has it with the the milkshake, that the chocolate, not milkshake, the shake which is there for the chocolate version of it. There's a vanilla version of it also. So that's how we have it. Everyone has different tastes, but the base ingredients are protein and fiber. Okay, so why does it help? Now, why I was coming to that is when you have your breakfast, and it's not that I don't have my breakfast. आज हमने पोहा बनाया था, पोहा खाया, ये भी पिया, fruit भी खाया, right? When you have that, earlier I used to snack. I used to have chai with biscuit or tikki. Snack करती थी, right? At 11:30, you just don't feel like having any snacks. My next meal is, the next one is by 1:30 at lunch. I don't feel hungry in between. Okay, so that's what it says. Fiber helps you with satiety, helps control blood sugar level. This is at the morning में जब आप लेते हो. Now, कार्ब्स के बारे में हमने बात किया, तो ऑब्वियसली थोड़ी सी टिप्स. आलू पराठा के बदले में यू कैन हैव अ पनीर और टोफू पराठा, या फिर वेज कोई भी वेजिटेबल आप बना उसका पराठा बना दो. इंस्टेड ऑफ सीरियल्स, सम ऑफ द कॉर्नफ्लेक्स और समथिंग, यू कैन हैव अ दलिया. व्हाइट ब्रेड के बदले में होल व्हीट ब्रेड. Earlier, we used to have bread. It was the easiest thing to make. So almost 5 days a week. आजकल वो 1 day a week maximum. कभी कभी हो जाता है 2 दिन, लेकिन it's 1 day. And then one thing is very very important. Whole wheat जब जिसमें लिखा है आप उसमें देखो whether it is 100% whole wheat. द पीछे जो इंग्रेडिएंट्स लिखा रहता है उसमें से समझेगा, ना कि वो बिग फॉन्ट्स में, राइट, नॉट हेडिंग फॉन्ट्स में. ओके. वड़ा पाव, व्हाइट राइस, आइसक्रीम, सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक, फ्रूट जूस जो ऑलरेडी बनाया हुआ है, फ्राइड चिकन एंड फिश, ऑल ऑफ दीज आर नॉट सो गुड फॉर यू. सो यू कैन स्वैप देम विद समथिंग लाइक एन इडली सांबर. Sambar, higher quantity, brown rice, yogurt. Yogurt is very good, absolutely very good. Lime water, whole fruit instead of juice, right? That's always preferred. And then grilled or roasted chicken and fish, right? Very good to pair any high GI food. Suppose आपने rice खा लिया, right? Your rice का जो quantity should be lesser than जो दाल आप खाओगे, should be lesser than the dal plus sabzi. So your protein, I'm just giving you an example, right? So your protein is coming from your dal, sabzi से fiber आ रहा है. So pair it up so that the carbs does not impact you that much, and all of it together can help you balance it out. Use whole grains and legumes, adding non-starchy vegetables, eat more of say bhindi, green leafy vegetables, other vegetables rather than focusing on starchy vegetables like potato. Okay. Use low GI alternatives. Internet is all open for you. Opt for mindful cooking techniques. Don't fry. Roasting is better. Steaming is best, of course, right? So avoid frying. How to increase your fiber intake? Choose whole grains over refined grains. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Fruits आप सुबह खाइएगा. Try and avoid having fruits later in the day because they digest very fast. And by the time you have had your breakfast, और उसके बाद अगर आपने फ्रूट्स खा लिया तो वो फ्रूट्स में जो विटामिन है वो आपके खून तक नहीं जाएगा. इट विल जस्ट बी अ फूड सिटिंग देयर एंड इट मे गेट फर्मेंटेड इन योर गट, causing some, gases, etc. So, snack. So have nut seeds. I won't say snack, but then nut seeds, dried fruits options are very good instead of, having something else. Beans, lentils, peas. Then yeah, so flax seeds, etc. But finally, of course, you need to drink a lot of water. NutriLIV fiber is the best that I have had. That's it from the carbs and fiber session. I hope it helped you. Well, we encourage everyone who is part of the community, who, everyone shine. Start every day with gratitude and optimism, thanking God for or whomever you believe in or trust or whatever. Be grateful for whatever you have in your life. You're just alive and breathing. Have your nutrition, because just having food is not enough. There is a lot of gap in the nutrition content that we receive from the food or the fruits and vegetables that we get in the market today versus what they used to get 100 years ago because of various factors, and hence supplementation, hence organic supplementation, and hence Nutrilite organic supplementation. That's a different subject altogether, is very, very important. So have your nutrition, visualize your intentions. Farooq always told us कि goal होना चाहिए. आपके पास गोल नहीं है तो आप कुछ तो करोगे लेकिन वो कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं रहेगा. So if you want to change your health in whatever way, whatever direction, आपका blood sugar कम करना है, आपके, you want to, Farooq was talking about steps. Even if you want to increase your pace, we used to report. And what helped us increase our pace from, 1 kilometer in 20 minutes to 1 kilometer in 10 minutes is because we had that goal. Farag told us that unless you achieve 1 kilometer in 10 minutes and you take that 1 kilometer to 4 kilometers at a stretch, you're not getting those benefits. And we used to have that goal and report. Even if we didn't do it, report. That's what helped us. So that is very, very important. Learn something new every day. Keep learning because without that, then our brain stops to function. And share your learning. Come to this, Monday daily night sessions 9 o'clock. Exercise daily क्योंकि exercise के बिना कुछ नहीं होगा. जितना भी आप nutrition खा लो, आप अपना and you maintain, your diet and all. And I am telling this to myself as well. And I always say this, कि when it comes to this particular line, I'm talking to myself more than anyone else. That जितना भी आप सब कुछ कर लो, वो जो gap है, वो मेरा body ache क्यों हो रहा है? Because मेरा exercise is not enough. Because I'm not moving my body. I'm not, working my body enough. So, yeah, so shine every day. Learn something new. These sessions are there, of course, every Monday, where we share with you something not that we have put up. This is researched material that is researched across 90 years, not one day, not 1 year. And this is research performed, for 90 years across 2000 plus scientists, I would say, and of course taking in inputs from our own Ayurveda as well, right? So, but before I'm not sure if Ruchita is around, but then let me take this session to closure. Before I end, I want to tell you that next Monday, you're going to have an exciting session. कोई पीपीटी नहीं रहेगा, कोई ज्ञान नहीं रहेगा. You will be listening from people like you and me, from professions like, from the sales, from IT background, from a businessman, from a pharmacist. You will be listening from them कि इस प्रोग्राम से, यही सब नॉलेज सेशन से, यही सब कम्युनिटी से, how and what help did they get through this program? How did their health transform? To what extent? And what is their journey ahead? So mark your calendars. You will get the invite soon, and we will see you next Monday, 9 p.m. on a panel discussion where you will be hearing from real stories from real transformations. That's it from us. Take care. Good night. God bless.